Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to live Q&A. My name is Athena Moberg, and our global community of adult survivors of childhood sexual abuse come here every single week, and we hang out and we heal together, we do life together, and we typically share questions and answers to common issues that are in the life of the survivor, the adult survivor of childhood trauma. So welcome, my name is Athena Moberg. To all of you who come here early and you're hanging out over in the YouTube chat, thank you so much. If this is your very first time watching one of our videos, you are welcome here. I'm so happy that you've chosen to click and to see what this is even all about. Healing from childhood sexual abuse can be a really long journey, and it can feel very overwhelming. This channel is either going to be one that you love and you're excited about and you click through and you watch all the videos, or you might not like it here, and that's okay. There are so many resources for you on YouTube. There are so many channels that specialize in adult survivors of childhood trauma, childhood abuse, childhood sexual abuse, religious abuse, cult abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, any kind of abuse that you could possibly have gone through during childhood, and now you're an adult and you're just trying to figure out this thing that is the healing journey. There are tons of resources on the internet for you so that you feel less alone. So first and foremost, we just want you to know we believe you. A lot of times we go through our whole entire lives and our abuse is either minimized or denied, or there's blame that's been shifted and we're blamed, and we should just be grateful for the life that we've been given. And we just want you to know that you're not going to get any of that treatment here. You're welcome here. We believe you. We believe what happened to you, even if your memories are a little bit fragmented and spotty and you're just not sure, like, I don't have a really clear understanding. My memories are not in a linear form, Athena. I'm not sure if my memories are real because they don't follow a proper timeline, and that is completely normal. Any survivor of any type of trauma knows that after time, you come to know over time, right, that memories are fragmented. Our brain is very complex, and through tons of studies of neuroscience and neuroplasticity, we come to realize that there are different areas of the brain that either get hijacked or get flooded with certain chemicals and neurotransmitters, and things fire in different places and different roads are made, and we all have a trauma response, and we're either, freeze or fight or flight or fawn. And there's just a lot to learn on this journey. So hopefully you will enjoy, not that you would enjoy the fact that you're part of the club, because this is like a club that nobody wants to belong to, right? But we hope that you coming to the conclusion that you are in fact an adult survivor, hopefully this will be an environment that that is welcoming for you. So the whole reason for this hashtag is not me. First and foremost, there's a gentleman by the name of David, and he is joining up with an organization. I think it's called Voices for CSA, or perhaps it's Voices. I think it's Voicing CSA or Voices for CSA. Anyway, he is doing a 24-hour walk to raise awareness of childhood sexual abuse, raise awareness around the topic of childhood sexual abuse and healing from childhood sexual abuse. So any accolades or excitement about this particular hashtag should be directed towards him, as I've noted down in the description section of this video. But we are welcoming you, and we're excited that you're here, because every single one of us that's over there on the YouTube chat, which you might not ever get a chance to meet unless you're one of the 40 people that are here live. And if you're one of the 40-something people that are here live, then if you go over to YouTube, you can see everybody over in the YouTube chat. Otherwise, you're going to be relying on only the comment section of this video, which is only the replay. And not that there's anything wrong with you if you're on a replay. It's amazing, but we have live Q&A every single Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Every Tuesday, early morning, in case you can't sleep, in the UK at 2 o'clock in the morning. And if you're over in Australia, 1 o'clock p.m. every single Tuesday. This particular gathering has been mostly focused on US survivors, which is why it's at 2 a.m. in the UK, sorry, and it's at 1 p.m. right in the middle of your workday over in Australia. But there are other chats. So for instance, if you go on Twitter and you follow the hashtag CSAQT, that stands for Child Sexual Abuse Question Time. And that's at 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time in the UK every single Monday. And that is led by Sue. Her Twitter handle is Shiny Blue Dress. And then another gal named Elaine Hook. And her Twitter handle is ED, the number 2, and the word inspire. And you can follow them. There are tons of organizations in the UK that are specializing in helping survivors of childhood sexual abuse. And I have been doing this particular work for 3 years now, a little over 3 years. And most of the work I do that is public is here on this YouTube channel called Trauma Recovery University. And we have a Roku TV channel called Trauma Recovery University. And there's a Twitter handle called Trauma Recovery U, at TRU for short. A lot of people are like, what does TRU mean? There's people are writing TRU in all the comments. What does that even mean? So that's what TRU means, in case you're wondering. But my name's Athena Moberg. I am an adult survivor of childhood sexual abuse. I'm also a survivor of all different forms of childhood abuse, from emotional to verbal to physical to neglect to exploitation, trading for goods and services, being sold, given away, just weird, like, horrific things that should never happen to humans. Like, I've survived all of that. And I've been on this healing journey now for about 17 years, and I love you guys. And I love being here with you guys and creating a safe space for you to come and feel welcomed and to share your questions. So I have a couple of amazing moderators and a whole bunch of people in the community who retweet and share and do all kinds of wonderful things for you, the survivor. So Kalicia's over on Instagram. You can follow at Survivor Community over on Instagram, and you can see tons of encouraging quotes. And then there's Matt. He writes a blog called Surviving My Past, and that is found at survivingmypast.net. And then I have Dawn, who's a respiratory therapist and a volunteer, and she's here moderating right now over on Twitter, and Matt's moderating YouTube. And then there's Jack, who does a whole bunch of comments in the YouTube after the fact, pasting links to videos and so forth. There's an entire, this particular YouTube channel, we have over 200 hours. I think it's close to 300 hours of video for you to watch, binge watch, watch whatever you need, pick and choose what you like, take the best, leave the rest, whatever. But there's over 150 written, printable, downloadable resources as well. And you can get access to that by going to nomoreshameproject.com. And then just click on downloadables, and there's a whole bunch of them, and they're just free, and you can just have them. There's over 150 of them. And there are others that I just haven't uploaded up to the website yet because I'm sort of working behind the scenes. And anyway, we have a whole bunch of other amazing volunteers also I just wanted to share. So Maggie does some research for us. Jody tweets out all of our crisis helplines. I'm forgetting a whole bunch of you. Poppy does amazing memes. Hazel does some group moderation over on Facebook. She helps moderate some of the groups over there. Matt does some group moderation as well. I'm looking for group moderators, by the way. I got some emails from you guys this week. What can I volunteer? How can I help? I need group moderators. I need people to vet survivors so that they're making sure that they're safe people, and then put them into the Facebook groups. That's what I need help with. So if that's like right up your alley and you're like, that sounds like something I could do, Athena, awesome. Then let me know, and I'll walk you through and let you know how you can help in that capacity, because I definitely need help on Facebook. It's just, I'm so backlogged. I have over a month-long waiting list right now. If you are waiting to get into a group, please go to athenamoberg.com/waiting list. And I'm just doing as much as I possibly can. I'm getting emails every single day from people that are waiting, wondering, who's available who's a therapist I can call? Who can I call for coaching? Who can I call for therapy? Can I get into a support group? How much are support groups? Are they free? Yes, they're free. There are some premium ones that Bobby Parrish runs as well, and you can get access to those by going to, I think it's bobbyparrish.com, and then you'll see a button that says groups, I believe, or coaching. It might say group coaching. So you're welcome here. There are tons of resources. If I'm not your cup of tea and you can't stand me because I remind you of one of your abusers, just click off. It's all good. No hard feelings. Your recovery journey is what's important. You will find someone on the internet, especially on YouTube, that is your cup of tea. You'll find someone that isn't as annoyingly chipper as I am. You'll find someone who's a little bit more soft-spoken, or perhaps speaks with a British accent, or who perhaps is a guy. There's tons of resources for you. So you're not alone, and I just wanted you to know that. So right now there are tons of you who have, what we're doing tonight is we're completing a sentence, okay? Normally, you guys will send in all of your questions for your recovery journey, and then I will be answering them on a specific topic. But what we're doing tonight, this whole video, is just to welcome you, all the new survivors that might be clicking on the hashtag for the very first time, whether it's the No More Shame hashtag or the hashtag that's probably going to be trending on Thursday, hashtag CSA Survivors. There's a campaign going on right now, and Thursday is like the day. So if you're in the UK, I believe it's 7 p.m. Thursday, July 13th. Everybody's going to be tweeting out that hashtag. We're really looking to get to #1 in trending. And so I'm sort of like preemptively recording this video to welcome you a few days in advance. So welcome from 3 days ago, and welcome to our channel. There are tons of resources here. And for those of you who are in crisis because you're triggered by something that is done or said on this channel, you can always reach out to Samaritans and find them by going to samaritans.org, and that's if you're located in the UK. If you're in the United States, go to RAINN.org, the Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network, RAINN.org, okay? Oh, before I go any further, you guys, I tested out a new crisis chat, text chat platform. I tested it out for you guys, and I talked with some of the people that founded it, and I talked with one of the crisis counselors and just found out like the ins and outs of it. And I'm going to give you the information for the crisis text chat support right now, so that, and if you're located in the United States, or if you're located in Canada, this will for sure work. And I was told that it would work in other countries. Depending on your plan, you could or could not get charged. It could really run up your bill, so be careful. But if you're in America, if you're in the United States and Canada, and possibly even Australia, I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to give you the deets right now. Let me get that information for you. Hey, Poppy, can someone get a hold of Poppy and maybe even Jody? One last kick, Jody, and maybe even Stu, or any of you guys that are like feeling super creative right now and like you really want to tweet out some stuff someday. Like, you don't have to tweet it out right now, but you guys, if you want to tweet it out, this is what you're going to tweet out. This is a crisis text line 24/7, 365. There's always a crisis counselor ready to talk with you. And it's for anyone that is, they said they specialize, this is what they specialize in. They specialize in anyone who is in crisis, especially those who are dealing with anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, or domestic violence. This is a very safe place for texters to utilize in crisis. You can choose to remain anonymous or not. There are many trained counselors available 24/7. and they were just so friendly. Oh my gosh, it's amazing, you guys. It's so, 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 so friendly. So here we go. Their website, if you're interested in their website, is crisistext.org. But you don't have to go to their website. All you have to do is text the letters TWT, text the letters TWT to 741-741. Just like that. And you'll get an immediate text from them saying, hi, if you're just testing, yes, we're 100% real. Text stop to cancel. We cannot receive messages longer than 160 characters. What's on your mind? And so I just began a dialogue with these crisis counselors and told them who I was and that I have an organization. I'm getting ready to start a foundation for people living with complex PTSD, and many of them are adult survivors of childhood sexual abuse. And so could they just tell me some information about their organization and when they would be available? So that is for you guys. Again, just to repeat, anyone who's feeling super creative and awesome, I should have like a meme contest one day, like for all you guys to create some awesome memes. Use like the Trauma Recovery University logo that I have over on Twitter on the bottom of all of those little images, just so so you can like tag me and tag Trauma Recovery U, use the hashtag No More Shame. But you would make a little meme that would basically spell out what people needed to do. Text the letters TWT to 741-741. Boom. And that's for anybody in crisis. So I'm super excited about that. You guys have been waiting to find, like, I'm pretty sure Katie Morton already like sent this information out like a year ago because she's so badass and she's just ahead of the game on everything. So anyway, that is enough of me just welcoming you, I guess. And you're probably like, good Lord, Athena, just get on with it. But you know what? Sometimes people just need to be welcomed, you guys. Sometimes we need to roll out the proverbial red carpet and let them know that they're not alone. Let them know that being a survivor, while it totally sucks, it's not isolating and horrible, or it doesn't have to be, you know, because we have so many of us here. So I'm going to go over and just, again, just so you can play along tonight and understand. And if you're visiting and this is your first time and you're just finding this video or you're just figuring out that you're a survivor, this is where we would love for you to begin. This is like the first video I would love for you to watch, because this is what all of us that are participating tonight wish we would have known when we first discovered that we were survivors. So everyone is going to be completing this sentence tonight. The sentence everyone is going to be completing is, Dear Brave Survivor. If you are finding the hashtag CSA Survivors for the very first time, please know, and then they're going to complete the sentence. So if that is you and you are finding this hashtag for the very first time, I mean, I'm not like your official welcome wagon, but we have a global community. We are 1 billion strong. 1 billion. Statistically, there are 1 billion survivors of childhood sexual abuse who were abused before their 18th birthday. So you are in good company here with us. And this is a trauma-informed place, meaning that we always keep in mind what's going on now and in correlation with what happened before. So we're not ever going to talk about like symptoms and things you wish you could change without keeping in consideration that there were some things that happened a long time ago that we need to keep in mind. That's trauma-informed. If you only focus on the symptoms and you don't keep in mind the trauma, or you only focus on the past and you don't think about what's going on right now, those are different approaches. But a trauma-informed approach always keeps both in mind. And that's what we do here on this channel, Trauma Recovery University. So I'm going to go and read some encouraging words for you, brave survivor, if you are finding us for the very first time tonight. Let's see. Good question. Matt and Dawn wanted to know, are we monitoring the hashtag CSA Survivors tonight in addition to No More Shame? And what I would love for you guys all to do, if you're going to be tweeting, is use both hashtags tonight. Instead of just using the hashtag No More Shame, so many of you are only here on YouTube. Like much of our our family, our friendly family that we choose, has moved from Twitter over to YouTube, and so many people are hanging out on YouTube. But since the hashtag is going to be trending on Twitter, I thought it would be really a great way if we could use tonight, in addition to using the hashtag no more shame, if we're over there, we could also use the hashtag CSA survivors, so that when they click on that, like, what's this hashtag that's trending? What's a CSA? What is that? Is that like a PSA? Is that like a public service announcement? And then they click on it and they're like, oh. And the majority of people are not going to think anything of it, and they're just going to move on with their lives. But 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 boys will pause and go, huh, that's me. And then they'll click and they'll be flooded with welcome messages, and you're not alone, and there are a billion of us, and we believe you, and it's okay. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle. Take your time. No one heals the same as anybody else. This is your journey and nobody else's. And all those things that we wish people would have told us when we first realized that we were survivors. So that's my heart behind recording this video. It could seem super duper cheeseball cheesy to some of you guys, like, wow, she really is annoyingly chipper. Now we know why they say that about her. But it's just my heart. It's just, this is what I wish I wish there would have been this video. Like, hey, Athena, I know that you are having suicidal ideation and you want to die because you're just having memories that you were sexually abused as a child and your whole world is unraveling. But wait, before you do that, watch this video. And then maybe it would have talked me down from the ledge a little bit to know that all of you amazing friends were here and I wouldn't be doing it alone, you know? So anyway, that's my heart behind doing this corny cheeseball cheesy video that hopefully you guys will play along with. So if you're going to be tweeting, use both hashtags CSA survivors with an S and hashtag no more shame. But if you're here on YouTube, then I'm sure that it's flooded, and we'll just get to as many of them as possible, and I will acknowledge each and every one of you as much as I possibly can. So thanks for playing along. Joey says, okay, so this is where we're going to start. Okay, guys? This is for you, survivor. This is for you, brave survivor. Or if you just realized it, like if you've been a victim of a sex crime or you are a victim of childhood sexual abuse and you're like, what's a survivor? I'm not a survivor. I'm not surviving. I'm barely surviving. Then you can transpose the word brave survivor to brave victim or just victim. If that is something like, there's no shame in being a victim. I was a victim. I've just moved out of that area of remaining a victim, but I mean, all of us have been victims. When a child is abused, they're victimized. The two are transposable. You're able to use them synonymously in all of these sentences. So if the word survivor is triggering for you, please find another word like victim or warrior or unicorn. Okay? So here we go. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to read them all to you now. Hopefully this is something that is encouraging for you. Dear brave survivor, and this is from Joey to you. Please know that it is never your fault and that you are worth being alive. Till this day, I struggle with both of these statements. Thank you for sharing, Joey. Sabra says, Dear brave survivor, please know that this is a powerful group of people and the kindest you will meet. It has already saved me. You are never alone and you don't need to be afraid. Thank you, Sabra. Heroes Don't Wear Capes says, Dear brave survivor, please know we know what it's like to live with confusion and anxiety because these have been constant companions since we were first sexually abused. You are not alone. Thank you, Heroes Don't Wear Capes. Willow says, Dear brave survivor, please know confusion is okay. Someone told me I was responsible for what I wanted in my life now. That was huge. I didn't even realize that I had a life, let alone that I was responsible for it. Oh, that's so great. Thanks, Willow. That's awesome. Willow also says, Dear brave survivor, please know we keep blaming ourselves and feel responsible for our situation, believing something is wrong with us, so we do not deserve to be and then it goes on to something else, but it got cut off. So, but thank you for sharing, Willow. Tony says, "Dear brave survivor, even though it may feel like it, you are not alone." Thank you, Tony. August says, "Dear brave survivor, you are so strong. You made it through the trauma. You can make it through the recovery." Thank you, August. Angela Lawrence says, "Hi everyone, I'm new to Twitter." Hi, Angela. Let Angela know that I'm waving to her and that she's welcome here. I'm so happy you're here, Angela. Welcome, welcome. Katie Lee says, "Dear brave survivor, before this group, my mind sometimes felt like a big wall full of graffiti, but now it is breaking up into clearer pictures." Oh, I love that imagery. Thanks, Katie. Jamie says, "Dear brave survivor, you are worthy and beautiful and certainly not alone." Thank you so much, Jamie. Jamie Strong says, "Dear brave survivor, you are worthy and beautiful and certainly not alone." Oh, I just read that, I'm sorry. Kalisha says, "You are not alone. We are 1 billion strong globally. You have a family here and you are loved here." And then there's a heart. Joey says, "Thank you so much, Kalisha." And thank you, Jamie. Joey says, "Dear brave survivor, please don't try to do this alone. We are stronger in numbers and this group is amazing. I probably would not be here today if it wasn't for my family." And you guys, like, if you're new here, let me look at you really quick. If you're new here, we call each other our family because many of us, our abuse happened in our family of origin. And so family isn't something that is a phrase that is associated with kindness or love or patience or what family hopefully would mean to a lot of people. And so we call each other family, which is the friendly family you choose or safe people that you choose to surround yourself with. So you're now a part of our family if you choose to be. You're not forced to be here. You can be here by choice though. Thank you for sharing, Joey. Young at Heart says, "Dear survivor, you will never feel alone with us here in our community." That's so true. Thank you so much, Young at Heart. Dawn says, "Dear brave survivor, you are so very strong, brave, and amazing. Hold on." I agree. Thank you so much, Dawn. Ashton Smith says, "Dear brave survivor, you are worthy of love and a caring community. You are a precious gift to the world." I agree with that. Thank you so much, Ashton. August says, "Dear brave survivor, the shame does not belong to you." That's true. Thank you so much, August. Heroes Don't Wear Capes says, "Dear brave survivor, I will never be the same again because telling lifted an awful burden from me. I know now that I can work through my pain and I don't have to carry it locked forever." Oh, that's so powerful. Thank you for sharing, Heroes Don't Wear Capes. Young at Heart says, "Dear brave survivor, shame will fade. The more you reach out, you will grow and be strong." Oh, that's so well said. Thank you, Young at Heart. Megan Clancy, I'm so happy to see you, Megan. I missed you. "Dear brave survivor, you are not alone. Even your darkest corners of shame are shared by many of us." That's so true. Thank you, Megan. Jen, I'm so happy to see you, Jen. I've missed you. "Dear brave survivor," you probably have been here like every week and I didn't know it, Jen. I didn't mean like, where have you been? Like, I meant like, I miss seeing your name pop up. I just haven't seen you in a little while because I haven't been paying attention. So Jen says, "Dear brave survivor, I once felt so alone and have found so much support by taking the leap to open up to others. You are not alone." Thank you so much, Jen. That is so true. When we open up, oh, it's like we're terrified to open up. We're terrified to share. We're terrified to speak. And then once we do, and we do, like you said, like we take that leap, it's like this weight, this burden has been lifted. Julie says, "Dear brave survivor who is older in life and still hasn't spoken up, you're okay. Nobody expects you to speak up yet. We know you will speak up when you are ready. You are loved." Oh, those are wise words. Definitely. That's so true. I just want to look at you. If you're here for the first time and you're just now realizing that you're a survivor, I just want to look at you for a second, okay? On the tail end of what Julie has said, I want to agree, and I want to just share, you know, no one should force you to speak up and talk about what you're not ready to talk about, you know? Like, if someone forced you to speak up and someone forced you to share, I'm so sorry. That never should have happened. This is your truth. You're the only one that can tell your truth. And everyone's journey is different. Your journey is not going to be the same as my journey. Your journey is not going to be the same as Julie's journey. Your journey is not going to be the same as anybody else's. Your journey is unique to you. So you speak up when you feel like speaking up. You don't have to speak up now. You don't ever have to become public and create a YouTube channel like this one. You don't ever have to do that, ever, just so you know. You don't ever have to create a Twitter profile if you don't want to. You don't ever have to join Facebook groups where there are a whole bunch of survivors healing together if you don't want to. We invite you to do that. We invite you to do those things because there is healing in safe community, and we've created a safe community here on social media that a lot of it is very anonymous. There are a whole bunch of people in our Facebook groups. Their names are Jane or Alice, or you know, there's one gal, her name when she joined our group was Pocket Full of Posies. I mean, there was just, you know, it just depends on who it is or when it is that you want to step up and you want to join in safe community with other people. There is no guideline, there's no book that says you must do this to heal. I will tell you this though. I will tell you that if you can find one safe person, whether that is virtually or in person, to share your truth with, whether that's your therapist, or if you have if you've already been to therapy for lots of years and now you have like a trauma recovery coach, or perhaps you're a part of like a group therapy. You know, if you can, I feel like I'm going to sneeze, so if I sneeze, I'm really sorry. Oh, okay. Wow. That was a big one. So your journey is going to be different than anybody else's. And I will tell you that it is easier to heal and less painful to heal if you find at least one person that you can open up to and share your story with. Because the moment you speak your truth, like, the way that is best said, and I believe it was either Michelle Rosenthal, maybe it was Babette Rothschild, I forget, but shame cannot exist where truth lies. Shame cannot exist where shame can only survive in silence and secrecy. And I think Brene Brown said it best, where she said the best way to get rid of shame is to get rid of silence, secrecy, and to be okay with being vulnerable. I'm butchering her quote. You know who has some great Brene Brown quotes is Poppy. Poppy, or Heroes Don't Wear Capes. Heroes Don't Wear Capes. If you follow Heroes Don't Wear Capes on Twitter, tons of amazing Brene Brown quotes. And if you haven't looked into a book called The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown, BreneBrown, it's a great, great title for anyone that is plagued with shame, whether it's from childhood sexual abuse or other reasons, like whatever your other reasons might be that you're living in shame. You guys, when I sneezed, I like smeared my mascara somehow. How funny is it? Hasn't it been like a half an hour since I did my makeup? Ever wonder about stuff like that? That's funny. Okay, that should be like part of a blooper reel instead of part of the main video. Okay, I'm gonna lose some people. Hey, I'm human. So I'm going to go ahead and read some more. I'm going to read some more messages from our community to you, brave survivor, if you are just now realizing that you're a survivor. Heather Tuba says, "Dear brave survivor, you may feel hopeless now, but please know your life has a purpose. Never, ever give up." Thank you so much, Heather. That is so true. That is so true. Perfectly put. Polly59 says, "Dear brave survivor, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end." And then there's a heart. That's true. I've heard that quote before, and that's a really wonderful thing to remember when you're taking that step into choosing to heal from childhood sexual abuse. Everything will be okay. It doesn't feel like it right now. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but it is going to be worth it. It's definitely going to be worth it. Stu, welcome, Stu. I'm so happy to see you. Stu is up at the Gatehouse in Canada. They provide amazing resources for trauma survivors, abuse survivors. That includes you if you are here on this channel. Stu says, "In community, you are not alone." And I agree. That's so true, Stu. Paul McCormick says, "Dear brave survivor, everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end." Oh, you know what? I think Polly59 and Paul McCormick are the same person. Thank you, Paul. And maybe you're not. Maybe you both just, your names are both Paul and you both said the same thing at the same time. But either way, I'm super glad you both said it. Stu says, "We are warriors. Shame does not define our future, and you are not alone." And I agree with Stu, most definitely. Shy Sharon, congratulations on your move, my friend. I'm so proud of you. Shy Sharon says, "Dear brave one, it is okay to embrace and protect your inner child. Let your inner child be a child. Be strong." Those are wise words, Sharon, most definitely. Thank you for sharing that. I agree. Ashton Smith says, "Dear brave survivor, please try to accept the love that is so safely and freely given in this community. And through the words of Athena," that's me, "healing is swift to follow." Thank you, Ashton. That means a lot. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. Oh, people are saying bless you because I sneezed. Thank you. Thank you, Dawn. Shy Sharon says, "Dear survivor, be true to you." That is a great piece of advice. Let me look at you in the face right there. Be true to you, survivor. No one needs to tell you what is okay for you to do and what is okay for you not to do. No one needs to tell you that you need to heal this way or heal that way, or you need to do dialectical behavior therapy. You need to do cognitive behavior therapy. You need to do exposure therapy. You need to do safe place imagery. You need to do AMDR. No one needs to tell you what you need to do to heal. Only you are going to tell you and decide what you need to heal, okay? You do not need to listen to everybody else. So those are wise words. Be true to you. Heather Tuva says, "Find one safe person with whom you share your story." Those are wise words, Heather, most definitely. Willow says, "Dear brave survivor, starting is the hardest. It's like riding a bike. You have to get on first and then you fall a few times, but you get back up and you get back up on and you get a feel and you learn how to keep upright and then you move forward." Those are wise words, Willow. I totally agree, most definitely. Shy Sharon says, "Dear survivor, you are in control of your future." Yes. No one, listen, I'm going to look at you really quick. No one is in charge. If someone says, if someone tries to shame you because you're a survivor. Someone tries to shame you because you spoke up. Someone is trying to shame you and deny your truth and deny that your abuse ever existed. Or if they're trying to flip the script on you, right? Let's say they're trying to flip the script on you and they're trying to say, oh, now you're putting shame to the family. Why couldn't you just be quiet? Why do you have to speak up? Now you're shaming our whole entire family. And I want you to know that those are common things that happen to a lot of survivors, and the shame is not yours. Whoever is saying that to you is not, that's not okay. It's not okay for them to say that to you because it's not the truth. You are not shaming your entire family by speaking up. The person who shamed your family is the person who sexually abused you and caused you to be in the situation that you're in right now, which is stuck or feeling suicidal or struggling to know what's real or recalling memories, or it's interrupting your relationships, it's interrupting your job, you can't leave your house, you're struggling, all of a sudden you can't remember things, it's affecting the way you speak, the way you remember, the way you sleep. You've been self-medicating through drugs or alcohol or spending or gambling or social media or food. Those things, while you are doing them, you're doing them for a reason. And the person who caused those things and the person who abused you, that's on them, okay? What is on you is how you move forward today. What are you going to choose to do today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day? You can choose to stop any type of behaviors that you don't like. And then as long as you, remember we talked about trauma-informed approach. So here's your behaviors that you don't like. Let's say this over here is compulsive shopping or overeating or drugging or drinking alcohol in excess, or you're addicted to social media, or you have some other type of addiction or maladaptive coping strategy that has been plaguing you for a while, and it's the way that you numb, stuff, and avoid the truth. Well, that's now. Over here is your trauma. This is what happened to you when you were a child. And chances are, if this is sexual trauma and you were sexually abused, it's very painful to remember what's over here. And so instead of addressing it and dealing with it, you've decided to numb, stuff, and avoid through a list of other things, different behaviors, different coping strategies, some healthy, some not so healthy, some very unhealthy. And if we look at both of them at the exact same time and we keep them both in mind, we have whole healing moving forward. So you can choose today what you do today, and you can choose tomorrow what you do tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. You're in charge. No one else is in charge. You are. You may have been powerless as a child, but you're no longer powerless. You have the power today to choose that you want to make that turn or go down a different path than you have been going down. And it is scary to make that choice, because then you're like, well, what if I fall back? What if I backslide? What if I don't want to overeat anymore? I don't want to be on drugs anymore. I don't want to be over drinking too much alcohol anymore. I don't want to be compulsive gambling or shopping or whatever this compulsive behavior is that's helping you numb stuff and avoid the pain from your childhood sexual abuse. You might be scared to make that choice. You might be scared to choose to heal. You might be scared to make that turn because you're like, well, then, what if the next day I fail? But you made it that one day. We're going to focus on that one day. That's what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on the choice you made that one day to move forward and to heal that one day. You made a couple more healthy choices that day. Okay? And you can just do it one day at a time, one day at a time. This is a recovery journey. Some of the language I'm using, you may be like, is this a 12-step meeting? This is not a 12-step meeting. But, Alcoholics Anonymous has it nailed. Things do need to happen one day at a time. That's where they nail it. One day at a time. I can't heal years and decades of abuse right now. I just can't. And neither can you, and neither can anyone. So it's a journey. It's a path that we have to choose, but no one's going to choose it for you. You have to choose. And only you should be able to choose. And perhaps you're making the choice to heal, not even for yourself. Maybe you don't hardly ever do anything for yourself. You rarely do anything for yourself. You're choosing to heal for someone else that you love very much, who perhaps didn't have a chance. They were never, you weren't ever given a chance, but you want them to have a chance at a bright future. And so you're like, you know what? My kids deserve better. They deserve my best. So I want to heal so that my kids can have the best. Or my husband deserves my best. My job deserves my all. My community, they deserve to have the best of me. So I'm going to choose to heal today, and I'm going to make a difference because I was never given that choice. I was never given a chance. So I want to make sure I do what's right now. And that's okay. That's fantastic. Eventually, once you see that reflected to you, you'll end up owning it, and you'll end up applying whoever that's for to you. And you'll realize that you really are worth it. You are enough. You are enough of a reason to heal because you deserve it, and because we are worth it. Because we are worth it. Okay? That's my little pep talk. So, second here. Just read these. Have some. Here we go. Creep Central broadcast. Hey, I messaged you today. I hope that you got my message. Dear survivor, knowledge is a true friend, and we meet here in the search and sharing of that truth. Yet it is also a path we share, one that takes time, but which is consistently worth it. Wow, that is so powerful and so perfectly put, you guys. Yes. This is a place where we all meet together, you know. I feel like it's level ground on this recovery journey sometimes. Yeah, some people will argue and say, how can you say it's level ground? You know, I didn't survive what you survived, or you didn't survive what I survived, or whatever. But when we take all that comparison out and we just look at the fact that, like, we're all survivors together. We're in this journey together. It's just so beautiful that we can encourage one another on a regular basis. You know, that's not something that happens in a lot of communities. So I'm going to read that one more time by Creep Central Broadcast. Dear survivor, knowledge is a true friend, and we meet here in the search and sharing of that truth. Yet it is also a path we share, one that takes time, but which is consistently worth it. Thank you for sharing, Creep Central Broadcast. I hope you got my message today. I left you a message, and I'm not sure if you got it, but I hope you did. Joey says, dear brave survivor, starting your journey is not an easy one, and yes, you will feel like stopping, but remember the phrase, no pain, no gain. You will feel amazing if you keep going. Yes, I totally agree. Thank you for sharing, Joey. You guys, we need to keep going. We can't just give up. I mean, we could just give up, but I mean, we're never going to reach our highest potential and really truly heal and live the lives that we're destined to live if we just give up, you know? I'm trying to be comfortable on my kitchen counter here, you guys, so if I'm out of camera, I apologize. Let me read some more quotes and messages from you guys. Young at Heart says, dear brave survivor, knowledge is power. Read, read, and read, and set yourself free. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, Young at Heart. Okay, so you guys, so if you're here for the very first time, and this is like the first video you're watching on your healing journey, there is a tweet out there somewhere that I sent today, and it's using the hashtag CSA survivors and the hashtag No More Shame. And it talks about like all the different books that were helpful to us in the beginning of our healing journey. Ooh, or, hey, Harriet, could you pop up a YouTube card, a link to the Trauma Recovery University video on books to facilitate your healing journey? And then after that, could you please pop up the one that talks about like videos and podcasts? And then after that, could you pop up a YouTube card for all of the helpful quotes and images? That would be super helpful. That would be amazing. I'm pretty sure that there are all 3 of those videos. I know we did a series. Bobby and I did a series together on like books and audio and music and podcasts and images and memes that are all really helpful to our healing journey. So link those up down below in the description, and then also pop up the YouTube cards if you could, so that anyone coming here has access to that. I need a drink of water. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, let's see what else you guys got. Okay. Dear brave, this is Living with Abuse. Living with Abuse says, Dear brave survivor, it is not easy. However, with survivor support, you will make it through to a better place. Yes, yes, yes. I totally agree. Thank you, Living with Abuse. It feels hopeless at first. Like seriously, you're like, really, this is my new normal? FML, you know? But truly, like, once you realize there's a whole bunch of other people that are committed to this journey, and they're committed to you and supporting you and doing what's best for themselves and sharing their best practices, like it just makes it, I don't know, it makes it like doable when it didn't seem like it was doable, because it seemed like it was just going to crush us. So yeah, I hope that these are helpful for you. Thank you, Living with Abuse, for sharing that. Matt says, Dear brave survivors who are younger and the horror is still raw, trust me, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we can support you as you move forward, as you move toward it. The pain will eventually be joy. And then there's a heart. Thank you, Matt. That's very, very well said. If you are younger and the horror is still raw, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we can all support you as you move toward it. The pain will eventually be joy. Yes. Paul McCormick says, Dear brave survivor, you survived for a reason. Even the smallest step is still progress. That's very true. Thank you, Paul. Katie Lee says, Dear brave survivor, at times it is difficult to stick with the work. It's not easy to believe that we can create change, and it's scary to think of living in ways that are unfamiliar, and that's okay. It is okay. Very well said, Katie. You guys, I think one of the things that I wish someone would have told me at the beginning is how I'm feeling today is not necessarily how I'm going to be feeling in a month or 2 months or a year or 5 years or 10 years or 15 years. Like, I wish someone would have told me that how I'm feeling in this moment right now is temporary, you know, because it's so overwhelming. It's just so overwhelming when we think about, oh my goodness. So if this is true, then this must be true. And what about this? And what about that person? And that person must have known. And they must have known. But why would they allow that to happen? And when we start connecting the dots, it shifts and it changes from day to day and from week to week and month to month and year to year and decade to decade. And I just wish someone would have told me that, like, how I'm feeling right now, today, isn't necessarily how I'm going to feel. Like, I don't know. Like, it's not how I'm going to feel next week or tomorrow or next month or next year, you know? I wish I would have known that. That would have really helped me a lot because I was really stuck for a while. And I'm like, if this is my new normal, I'm not going to survive. I'm just not going to survive. But I wish someone would have told me that it's temporary. How we're feeling is temporary. Thank you for sharing, Katie. Charlie Jax says, "Dear brave survivor, remember, everything you have faced, all the battles you have won, and all the years you have overcome. You are worth it." Yes. Gosh, I feel like we need like a theme song. Like, you guys are going to hate me right now because I'm going to plant a song into your head and you're going to hate me. But you know that song, Fight Song? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Yeah, that's the song I'm thinking of right now when I read that quote by Charlie Jax, what she just said. Oh my goodness. Joey says, "Dear brave survivor, if you were ever told that you're lying about your abuse, we believe you 100%. You are worth believing." Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much, Joey. That's great advice. And thank you, Charlie. Janie, Captain Janeway. I'm so happy you're here, Janie. Janie says, "Dear brave survivor, it is okay to grieve for what you have lost or to be angry. Your feelings are okay. If you allow yourself to go through these feelings, you allow yourself to move past them as well." And that is great advice. You guys, what do I always say? I totally have to agree with Janie here. You got to feel all your feels if you're ever going to heal. We have to feel all of our feelings. We can't numb stuff and avoid our way through recovery, because right when we're enjoying our life, boom, it's going to pop back up and smack us in the forehead and interrupt our otherwise scheduled program. It's the most inopportune time. We're cruising along. We're in a brand new relationship. We're feeling super good. We're like, yeah, this is what life's all about. Or we start that new job, or our children have children and we're a grandparent for the first time. We're like, look at our grandbabies. And then boom, right at the beginning of that new job or that brand new relationship, or right when you become a grandparent, boom, you get knocked off your feet. Why? Because you numbed, stuffed, and avoided your way through recovery, and you didn't face your stuff. You didn't move through it. You went over it or around it or under it, or you avoided it completely because we were numbing and stuffing and avoiding. We can't do that. We have to feel all of our feels if we're ever going to heal, and that means even the uncomfortable feels. Those are the hardest. But you're not alone. You're not alone. We're all here. Well said, Janie. Julie Pratt says, "Dear survivors of all types, brave or otherwise, you may not feel brave, but that you are making those very first few steps. That makes you brave. Courage is being afraid and doing the right thing anyway." Well said, Julie. Very well said. Most definitely. I know someone tries to tell me, I was having a conversation with one of my girlfriends yesterday, and we were talking about how people tell us we're so strong. You're so strong, and you just want to like smack them. Not that I want to smack anybody like for reals, you know, but you're like, I'm so effing exhausted. I do not want to be strong for one more minute. Really? I'm definitely not strong. Like, take your strong and stuff it. Like, don't use that word in the same sentence with my name or me, because I don't want to be strong anymore. I'm tired, you know, and all of us as survivors have felt that way at one point or another. You know, it's like, I'm so sick of being strong. I'm so sick of like facing all this. I just want to be done. When am I going to be done already? When am I going to be done? You know? Yeah, that's perfectly put. Because we don't always feel brave. Julie's right. We don't always feel brave. But you're taking, some days not even taking a step. Some days just holding your ground is progress. And yeah, courage is being afraid and doing the right thing anyway. That is a good definition of courage. Well said, Julie. Heroes Don't Wear Capes says, "Dear brave survivor, even though it is the hardest part, all you have to do is show up." So true. You guys, I can remember in the very, very, very beginning, I know I've told you guys this like a few times, but like when I first started this healing journey, it was probably 17 years ago. Probably almost 17 years ago, like to the day, because it was summertime. I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it for someone else who had been abused, and I made sure that they got the help they needed. And then like the therapist asked me a question, like sidebar, you know, like not in the middle of their session, obviously, but like asked me a question, and I was like, oh, I don't really remember any of my childhood. They're like, you have no memories of your childhood? Like, really? Not like, wow, you suck, but like, really? That's interesting. I'm like, yeah, I don't really have any memories whatsoever. Like nothing. Like, where did you live? Where did you go to school? Like, how old were you? What, like anything? Like, what clothes did you have? What was your favorite toy? You know, did you have a favorite game? And I'm like, I didn't have a lot of toys, and we didn't really play games, and like, I don't remember anything. It took me so long to remember anything. And I was just, I mean, honestly, I wasn't ready to show up. Let's just be real. Let's just be real, you guys. I wasn't ready to show up. So when Heroes Don't Wear Capes says, even though it's the hardest part, all you have to do is show up, it's true. I wasn't ready to show up. That was 17 years ago. Now I'm showing up. I'm showing up now. But for a while, I wasn't ready to show up. I was showing up for somebody else. I wasn't showing up for me. It took me a while to show up for me. But you guys can do this. I know you can. Stu said, oh, thank you for sharing Heroes Don't Wear Capes. Stu says, "Dear brave survivor, together we can find peace within ourselves, and together we can find a better way." Yes, that should be like a song. Yes, I want that to be my song. That's my jam, Stu. It's very poetic and powerful. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for sharing. Creep Central broadcast. Oh, hey, they got my message and they're going to respond soon. Yay. Awesome. Jen says, "Dear brave survivor, if you feel triggered, it's completely normal. Just breathe and try to ground yourself. You can get through it. You can do it." Yes, most definitely. That's great advice, Jen. Harriet, if you could pop up the YouTube card for self-care, not self-care and hygiene, not daily, not the hygiene issues one. The one that's all about like practicing self-care and different ways to practice self-care. I think there's like red on the thumbnail, whereas like the hygiene one has like green, I think. But was it called self-care, or was it called grounding? Grounding techniques. Oh my goodness. You guys, I'm getting like super forgetful in my old age. Good Lord, I'm only 43. I'm going to be 44 soon. Okay. Yes, I agree. I agree though, Jen. That is wonderful. That's great advice. Just breathe and try to ground yourself. You can get through it. You can do it. Young at Heart says, "Dear brave survivor, embrace your vulnerability. Find your authentic self, your true self. Vulnerability is courage." Yes. Harriet, if you could pop up Finding Our Authentic Selves. Did I run out of YouTube cards? I know I only have 5. If I ran out of YouTube cards, Harriet, and you can't put one here for the Finding Our Authentic Selves, can you link it up down in the description section of this video, please? Because that is a good one. We struggle, like, who are we? What is this recovery thing? Like, recovery, what am I recovering? I don't even have like a pre-trauma memory. My whole life was trauma. What am I recovering? It's more of a discovery, honestly. Sometimes it's not recovery. Sometimes it's discovery and uncovering, you know? But we can do it. We can do this, you guys. We can totally do it. Young at heart, that is some great advice right there. Embrace your vulnerability. Find your authentic self, your true self. Vulnerability is courage. You know what? I told somebody one time, did I tell this to Bobby? Maybe I told it to you guys during a live stream, and someone made me a meme, and it was the cutest thing ever, and I lost it. I don't know. It was in my other computer or something before it died. I have no idea. But it was like the little girl that was like the superhero, and I told, it was like my little quote, and then it had my name, and it was the little girl that was like the superhero, and it said, vulnerability is my superpower. And it said like, at Athena Moberg, like my Twitter handle or whatever. And it was the little girl with the little mask, and like, she's like, yeah, you know, it was the cutest. Anyway, vulnerability is my superpower. I've decided, because ever since I've chosen to be vulnerable and show up and like really show up, like doing these videos or whatever, I have healed at an exponential rate, and I'm able to help so many other people. So I'm choosing vulnerability as my superpower. Deborah, hi Deborah. Deborah says, dear brave survivor, however you survived was okay. And that is true. You know, there are a lot of shaming messages out there in the media. There's a lot of shaming surrounding ways that people, you know, got through their survival. Or there was something on Twitter the other day about like child prostitutes. And it's like, okay, hello. First of all, that's like a complete oxymoron. A child can't consent to having sex. So to say that a child is a prostitute is saying that the child's old enough to consent. No, what the child is incurring is sexual abuse. Whether or not they're choosing to be there is inconsequential. A child cannot consent to sex. They just can't. Likely they were taught or told that that's where they needed to go and what they needed to do. And they're like being forced to do those things. They might think like little Miss Sassy Pants, like, I'm choosing this. But no child chooses to prostitute themselves, like, as a choice. Like, they don't wake up one day and go, I know what I'll do. I'll prostitute myself. I'll go out and sell my body and get abused and have shady characters doing horrible things to me so I can make some money and then give it to people that are supposedly taking care of me. Like, no one does that on purpose, you know? So that is a part of childhood sexual abuse. And if something happened with you and you were forced into prostitution, please know that there's no shaming that goes on here. Like, if that's how you survived and that's what you were trained to do and you lived through it and you're here and you're wanting to heal now, you might have found your sweet spot. This could be your place. We could be your people. We might be your tribe. Maybe, just maybe. However, how did Deborah say that? It was perfect the way she worded it. Deborah says, dear brave survivor, however you survived was okay. Perfectly stated. Thank you, Deborah. Shy Sharon says, dear survivor, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. Still 1 step forward. You will get there 1 step at a time. Perfectly said, Sharon. Well said. Paul McCormick says, dear brave survivor, there's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Thank you, Leonard Cohen. I think that's a song. There's little musical notes and a heart and hearts next to that quote. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Thank you, Paul. I think that's a song, and I'm pretty sure you're saying that's a song by Leonard Cohen. So if that's the case, woot woot, I like it. Hey, oh, you guys are all saying that Fight Song is your anthem. I thought you guys were going to be hating on me and be like, thanks a lot, Athena. I can't stand that song. Oh my gosh, it's overplayed. Every time I sing that song, like in certain circles, I get told, of course, that I'm annoying because that's people's favorite thing to say to me. And it's also like major shaming from childhood for me because I was told that I was annoying from birth and that I should have never been born. So if you ever want to really hurt my feelings, tell me how annoying I am. Not that I would want you to hurt my feelings because that's really mean. But yeah, it hurts my feelings when people tell me I'm annoying, especially when they pick on my voice. Like I'm allowed to choose my voice. I could see if I was putting on like a fake voice, like doing an impression, and you're like, that impression is super annoying. But you're not saying I'm annoying. So yeah. This is my fight song, take back my life song. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I should be playing that in the background right now. Yes. Hey, Harriet, there is a 1-hour version of Fight Song. And I have it on replay here sometimes when I'm working on like a website project for someone. And if you could link that down below this video so that anyone looking for an hour-long version of Fight Song can easily find it, that would be amazing. If you need me to send you the link, I will. But down below in this description, in a day or two, you guys, you'll have a link to the hour-long version of Fight Song because it's the best. And you will cruise through your day like empowered and feeling super amazing because it's an hour-long version of Fight Song. And who doesn't want that? Right, exactly. So Angela Lawrence says, I am trying so hard to feel my feels, but I don't know how. Ooh, we're back into like normal Q&A right now. I got my coach hat on. Okay, Angela. And then I got, I got to sign out here in a minute because it's already 22 after and I want to make sure that I respect your guys' time. So I only have 4:23, I have 7 minutes. So, okay, Angela. Angela says she's trying really hard to feel her feels, but she doesn't know how. Okay, so Angela, this is what I would recommend, okay? So if you've tried traditional therapeutic modalities, like if you and your therapist are working through perhaps CBT, which stands for cognitive behavior therapy, that is basically talk therapy, and there's a certain technique. And if that's not working for you and you're struggling to find the words to feel your feels with, if talk therapy isn't something that is working for you, it could mean, where's Heather Tuba? Shout out Heather. Heather Tuba and I had a great debrief meeting. She went to a conference up in Canada with Lori Gill. And talked a lot about how when the amygdala gets hijacked in a traumatic situation, and trauma is experienced in the right hemisphere of the brain. Well, language is over here in the left hemisphere of the brain. So guess what happens when you're traumatized? You have like, if your trauma response is freeze, you're frozen and you don't have words. And oftentimes people who have witnessed like a horrific accident or witnessed a natural disaster and they're asked about something and all they can find are the words, I don't know. It's like the most common response if someone's traumatized or in shock because you don't have words. You're experiencing trauma and all your language is over there. And if your amygdala is hijacked, the bridge is out. The bridge is out. There's no way for you to access the language center of your brain. So that was a sidebar, but I want to address your question, Angela. So Angela, if you can't find any words and you're working with your therapist, and I want to know if you've ever talked with your therapist about an expressive modality. And what I mean by that is like perhaps like body movement. Harriet, if I have any YouTube cards left, pop up the video titled Discovering Movement. It's with me and my girlfriend, Claudia. She's a yoga practitioner. She's been around for like 30 years doing yoga and teaching yoga instructors how to do yoga. And it's like just discovering different movements with your body. And sometimes it will cause you to feel certain feelings that you're not that you would not normally feel, and things that you never knew you felt before. And if that doesn't work, or it's something that scares you, or perhaps you are mobility challenged, and perhaps you're living with some sort of disability that prevents you from moving easily, that's okay. Fear not, because there's also art therapy. And a great way to access some of your feelings is perhaps like even just doing like tempera paints, those like acrylic tempera paints you can get at like the drugstore, like Long's Drugs or CVS or Walgreens, or I don't know what kind of stores you guys have on the mainland, but like we have Walgreens and Long's Drugs here. So anyway, there's little tempera paints, and then you can get like at Office Depot or Office Max, they have those like like big, like 2 feet by 3 feet Post-it notes. And it looks like it would go on an easel or something. Well, you can just get one of those and then put it up on your wall, or put it up on something that's washable, and you can paint. And maybe just like find something that you like, a feeling that you might have, or just allow yourself to just sort of go to that place, or write down some memories that you've had. And then like you don't really know how to express your feelings or feel your feelings, but something happens when we go to some sort of, we move to some sort of expressive modality, whether it's discovering movement, whether it's using color or shapes, sometimes music, sometimes watching. I know that John Harvey was having trouble emoting, which sounds like you're having trouble emoting as well. And I told him that I would love for him to find some time to watch Good Will Hunting, because that's a really good movie that helps you emote. Or Castaway, if you can't stand like Matt Damon and Robin Williams, perhaps you're like a, you know, you are a, who's the guy in Castaway? He's only one of my most favorite actors of all time. I can't believe I can't remember his name right now. It's like Tom something. The guy who played Forrest Gump. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Good Lord, I'm going to die right now. I can't remember his name, but I must be traumatized because I can't find my language. But anyway, or what I did last week when I was having trouble emoting, I watched a YouTube playlist that I knew would bring me to tears. I love watching like America's Got Talent, like talent contests. They really just get me. They pull on my heartstrings. So I just watched a YouTube playlist of like Britain's Got Talent, and I bawled my eyes out, and it felt so good. So if you're having trouble feeling your feelings, or especially you're having trouble feeling anger, I'm telling you, painting might help. Listening to certain music might help. Having like journal topics, like if you Googled like different like journal topic generators, there's like journal topic generators online where you can just type in a word and it'll give you like a journal topic, and then you just start writing, free writing for like 60 seconds. Something expressive, like an expressive modality, that will probably help you emote and feel some of your feelings. Angela, I hope that's helpful. Charlie Jacks says, "Dear brave survivor, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and loved more than you know. Welcome to our family and community." Oh, I love it. Oh, Tom Hanks. Thank you. Good Lord. Thank you, Matt. Can you believe that I was having trouble with Tom Hanks? But I want to read Charlie's, in closing. We're going to end this broadcast on time tonight. I'm going to read this for you, brave survivor. This is the last one of the night, and then I'm going to let you go. And join us. Feel free to join us every single week, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, for right around 90 minutes. Join everybody over on YouTube in the comments or in the chat section if you're going to show up live, or even over on Twitter using the hashtag #NoMoreShame, or if you found us using the hashtag CSA Survivors. Super awesome. Yay. But also, let me know you were here down in the comments section. And anyone, you guys, I have 50 of you that are still here right now. Make that 47. I have 47 of you still here. Could all of you give this video a thumbs up, please, if it was helpful? I'm assuming if you've stuck around this long that it's been helpful. So could you guys give this video a thumbs up? Because the more thumbs up, the more likes, the more comments, the more everything that we get. We don't really get paid to do these videos, but and I can't get paid to do these videos because my content isn't monetizable because it talks about childhood sexual abuse. So the more you just give them thumbs up, the videos, thumbs up on our channel, all the videos, then we go up in search rankings on YouTube, and they find more survivors to like bring our videos to so that more survivors get help. So if you could give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful for you, even if you thumbs up other videos or you've hated all my other videos and this is the only one you liked, if you could give it a thumbs up, it would mean the absolute world to me. So in closing, right now, as we close on time tonight, Charlie Jacks says, "Dear brave survivor, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and loved more than you know. Welcome to our family and our community." So that is my sentiments as well. Those are my sentiments as well. And I know all of the amazing survivors that are here. Hopefully our little proverbial red carpet and welcome wagon video isn't too freaky for you and you're not like, what have I gotten myself into? Holy crap. You can just seriously never show up. Like if this is the only video you ever watch, just know that you're not alone. That's it. You like hate everything about me. Just know that you're not alone. That's all we want you to know. Okay. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Next week, I'm not sure what the topic's going to be next week. I have like 7 topics that people are emailing me about right now, and I haven't really decided like which one it's going to be, and I'm just not sure. But I'll try to let you know as soon as possible because I know a lot of you like to know so you can get your questions in early. Yeah. So I'll do the best very, very best I can. And I'll just see you next week, okay? 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on Mondays, or Tuesday mornings at 2 a.m. if you can't sleep and you're in the UK, or if you work nights in Australia, then we're every Tuesday, 1 p.m. in Australia. So feel free to come. Use the hashtag #NoMoreShame on Twitter, or come right here to this YouTube channel, Trauma Recovery University, and show up early and talk with everybody over in the comment section, and then send in your comments and I'll answer them, or send in your questions and I'll answer them, okay? So thanks for being here, everybody. You are so dearly loved. My name's Athena Moberg, and I'm just honored by every single one of you choosing to be here tonight to support all of the new people that could possibly be finding us as a result of the hashtag CSA Survivors, which will hopefully be trending at #1 on Thursday at 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, which would be 8 a.m. in Hawaii, 11 a.m. West Coast time, 12 in Colorado, 1 p.m. in Central Time Zone, and 2 p.m. on the East Coast. So that's Thursday. So you guys, we got to get the word out. We got to be like retweeting the hashtag and monitoring the hashtag during all those times I just mentioned, if we can, so that we can, you know, make sure that all of our new peeps feel welcome. So I love you guys so much. Thanks for being in my family, and I will see you next week. Bye.